By the summer of the year 70 AD, the city no longer responded to prayer. It responded to hunger. Jerusalem, once a center of worship, law, and memory, had become a closed system. Nothing entered without Roman permission, nothing left alive without Roman indifference. By the time the walls fell, most of the killing had already happened. Jerusalem in the 1st century was not a quiet city. It was crowded, religiously charged, politically unstable, and economically strained. Judea existed under Roman rule, but not Roman acceptance. Taxes were heavy, governors were foreign, soldiers were visible. Authority was imposed, not shared. Religion intensified everything. The city was not just inhabited, it was believed in. Jerusalem was sacred space. Compromise was not merely political failure, it was spiritual betrayal. By the late 60s AD, resistance hardened. Several Jewish factions competed inside the city itself: zealots, sicarii, priestly elites, moderates. Unity collapsed before Rome ever arrived. In 66 AD, open revolt broke out. Roman legions were ambushed. Roman authority was publicly humiliated. Rome did not negotiate humiliation. The response was delayed, but deliberate. By 70 AD, the future Emperor Titus stood outside the city walls with 4 legions. Nearly 60,000 professional soldiers surrounded Jerusalem. Inside the city were hundreds of thousands of civilians, pilgrims included, trapped by timing and belief. The siege began. Rome understood cities. Rome also understood patience. Rather than an immediate assault, the legions sealed Jerusalem completely. No food, no water, no trade, no mercy corridors. This was not rage, it was policy. Starvation is not loud, it is systematic. Within weeks, food prices exploded. A measure of grain became unattainable. Families sold possessions, then tools, then clothes, then nothing. Internal violence followed. Rival Jewish factions fought each other during the siege. Grain stores were burned, not by Romans, but by defenders attempting to weaken their rivals. This is where restraint began to fail inside the city. Social trust collapsed. Law dissolved. Religion fractured into accusation. Hunger alters cognition. It shortens time horizons. It turns tomorrow into an abstraction. Reports from the historian Josephus describe robber bands roaming streets, breaking into homes, searching for food in the mouths of the dying. People were tortured for suspected hoarding, not by invaders, by neighbors. Sieges rarely end with a single decision. They end with thresholds. Jerusalem crossed several. First, the collapse of internal order. Second, the normalization of extreme cruelty. Third, the disappearance of restraint as a shared value. The most infamous account from Josephus describes a mother who, driven beyond hunger into psychological rupture, killed and consumed her own child. Whether literal or symbolic, the story mattered because it circulated. It signaled something irreversible. The city no longer recognized itself. At this point, Roman soldiers reportedly expressed horror, not mercy, but fascination. Rome did not need to dehumanize Jerusalem. The siege allowed dehumanization to occur organically. This is a key psychological pattern. Prolonged pressure can collapse moral boundaries without explicit orders. By late summer, Roman battering rams breached the outer defenses. The final assault began. When Roman troops entered Jerusalem, discipline initially held. That discipline did not last. Urban combat erases command clarity. Narrow streets, hidden defenders, civilian presence. This is where armies fracture psychologically. Roman soldiers began executing indiscriminately. Age, gender, status ceased to matter. The temple complex, the spiritual center of Judaism, became a final refuge. Fires broke out during the fighting. Whether accidental or intentional remains debated. Once flames spread, restraint collapsed completely. The temple burned. That moment mattered more than the death toll. The destruction of the Second Temple did not just kill people, it erased a future. Estimates vary, but ancient sources claim hundreds of thousands died. Others were enslaved. Tens of thousands were crucified outside the walls in the following days. Crucifixion served no tactical purpose at this stage. It served a psychological one. Rome was restoring symbolic dominance. Jerusalem was not simply defeated, it was demonstrated as breakable. Jerusalem was left in ruins. The temple was not rebuilt. The priestly system collapsed. Jewish religious life transformed permanently, shifting from temple sacrifice to text, law, and diaspora survival. Rome commemorated the victory. The Arch of Titus in Rome still depicts temple artifacts carried away. The massacre entered memory in fragments, as punishment, as tragedy, as warning. Rome framed it as necessary order. Jewish tradition framed it as catastrophe. Both narratives avoided the same truth. This was not inevitable. But once restraint failed, it became unstoppable.